Hey guys, it's Lizzie. So as you guys know, hopefully by now, when season 6 episodes aren't coming out, we're just going to be going back and rewatching old episodes. And usually when we do these videos, I always take the episodes that you guys request for me to watch. However, this one was actually never requested for me to watch. I just had a random inkling the other day to watch Lies. And I was like, you know what? If we're going to watch an episode, might as well make a video about it. So here we are. This video is just more for me, okay? Because I really wanted to watch this episode. And like, honestly, this is low-key one of my favorites. Plus, I feel like this episode is so underrated. We don't talk about it enough. And I have some thoughts and I have some opinions about this episode. Anyway, so with that all out of the way, let's get into watching this episode.
I get it, Ladybug. Your friendship means everything to me. You can keep the rose. It goes with your costume.
We were able to spend the entire day with this famous...
Bro, not the wax statue. The PTSD, bro.
Bugaboo?
The bugaboos. Stop. I remember losing my mind over how many times he called her Bugaboo, at least at like the beginning of season 4. Girl, I didn't know what was coming. Little did I know that that would be like the last time he would ever call her that. I feel like they threw so many Bugaboos in there because they knew it was never coming back.
No messages. Don't forget my cheese.
Oh my god, Flag, I love him.
No biggie, I'm just the cat for this job. I'll start without you. Hope to meet up with you later. Let me know.
Bro, he's too cute. He's too sweet for her. Also, the way he like completely waited for her that whole time. Girl, I don't got patience for that. Listen, I don't care if I'm in love with you. I'm out. I'm dipping.
Thank you for asking, Cat Noir, but I am in the best of spirits, really.
Insert him getting akumatized 2 episodes later. Also, where's Mr. Banana? I just realized we haven't seen him since season 4. Low-key, he needs to make a comeback.
No messages. Don't forget my cheese.
I love how Plag's messages just get like progressively more aggressive every single time.
Make that a large milk, pal.
You know he's going through it when he brings out the jug of milk.
No messages. Don't forget my...
You see? So aggressive. Funnily enough, he did in fact forget his cheese. So...
Don't apply these principles to fencing, you'll never be as good as Adrien Agreste.
You know, it's so weird to me because in season 5, we learned that Gabriel and Mr. Gi were really pushing for Adrien and Kagami to be together, right? Because I guess they needed to be together for like whatever plan. I don't actually know why they wanted Adrien and Kagami together so deeply. But anyway, we know that that's what they wanted, right? But like prior to that, we didn't really know that. So looking back at this clip, like knowing that, I know for a fact that that was probably her just really pushing for Kagami to be with Adrien. So I guess what I'm saying is that I feel like a really big reason why she ever even liked him to begin with is because her mom kept putting the idea of them being together in her head.
Don't worry, Mother. I've got everything I need to succeed with him.
Patrol's over, Bugaboo.
Also, the switch up there is...
Oh my god.
Adrien in this episode actually pisses me off because he's like being all in love with Ladybug, right? Getting mad that she stood him up. And then he was like, it's the guy you stood up, kind of implying that there was something more going on than just a patrol. Wasn't he dating Kagami at this point? Or maybe they weren't actually. They might have not been dating yet. Because I was just thinking...
So your favorite cheese is missing from the plate and it's as if the others don't exist? Try another type. You might be surprised how much you like it.
See, yeah, because right there, he's like, try another type. And then he goes to Kagami. So they definitely weren't dating at that point. See, this is why we go back and rewatch old episodes, because there's tiny details you don't pick up on all the time.
All these scheduling changes requested by the Agreste are annoying, but you can use it to fit in another hour of Russian.
Oh, she speaks Russian? I didn't know that.
All these scheduling changes requested by the Tsurugi are annoying.
Kagami in her liar era. She's so cute.
Stay at school without adult supervision? No problem, Mr. Heprel. We'll come back for the class in an hour.
First of all, I love how she's like, we'll come back in an hour, and they're literally in the art room for like 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden like class is starting. Not an hour, Miss Girl, not an hour. Anyway, I want to talk about all of the like lying that Kagami did and like why I think that's so important. Not only to Kagami, her character, but also like the role this episode and her lying plays into Feelagami. Because you know, yeah, I cannot watch a video of Kagami and Adrigami without going into Feelagami. You should just know that it's... When did I spill on myself? I don't remember doing that. Anyway, you can't expect me to sit through a Kagami episode without, you know, bringing in Felix. But yeah, I do really think that this episode is so important to Feelagami. But we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to say that.
But my mother won't let me do it. According to her, I'm not good enough.
Girl pie, you're not good enough. Yeah, so this is why we don't listen to our mom.
You're super talented, Kagami.
You really think so?
She is so talented. Oh my gosh. I want to see more of her artwork. I don't know. I feel like her art in general hasn't been something that they've dove into or talked about. So I want to know more about that. Also, I totally need to see a Nathaniel and Kagami friendship.
No, still not good. Change again.
What is that pose, bro? The modeling poses in this episode is taking me out. Because wait, she goes, do a pose, he goes.
Try something that's more natural. More you.
What about meow?
Her face. Girl, she's so over it.
No, that's you when you're being silly.
What if when I'm being silly, I'm really me?
There. This is really you.
Okay, everybody sit down, get your notepads. I want to talk about this because I feel like this is probably the best example that I have that who Kagami thought Adrien was and like who she was in love with was never actually Adrien. Okay, so hey, when I first explained this in the video, I felt like it was really complicated and I kept like running in circles, so I thought I'd just come on here and try to explain it better in a way that's more coherent. Anyway, but I just feel like prior to now, we've known that Kagami was in love with Adrien, but we never really knew why. The reasons behind her falling in love with him were never truly like shown or portrayed. But in Lies, I feel like we were given for the first time like a reason why she liked him, and I think it's this scene that kind of tells us, right? It kind of like opens up the idea that who Kagami was in love with wasn't really who he was. Because also, in this moment, in that scene, Adrien was being himself. But the fact that Kagami couldn't fathom that that really was himself shows us that who she thought he wasn't really that person. And in my opinion, I think that the person that Kagami thought Adrien was basically like a carbon copy of herself, right? And she would never act like that. She would never be silly and goofy like that. So she just couldn't imagine the fact that that's why he was acting like that. Like, she just thought that he was being stupid. He had like this fake facade in this moment, and that wasn't who he really was. Although I will say there are quite a lot of elements to his personality that very much were real, and she did really like those things about him. One thing specifically is probably his very like golden retriever, you know, boyfriend energy. That's very real, and I do think that she really did like that about him. But for the most part, like, she just had like this warped idea of who Adrien was, and that's the version that she had fallen in love with, right? And the reason why I think that's so important is because if you take a look at it, who she thought Adrien was is exactly who Felix is, right? Felix, his personality is so similar to Kagami. He acts almost the exact same way, but he's slightly different, and he does have a very like golden retriever energy to him, which, like I said, is one of the big things that she really did like about Adrien. So I just feel like every single thing she liked about Adrien had nothing to do with Adrien, but it does have everything to do with Felix, because like I said, his exact personality, the personality she thought Adrien had, is like the exact personality that Felix has. Does that make sense? Anyway, that's what I just believe, and I feel like this scene in particular kind of proves that and like justifies it, so I hope that made sense.
Touche.
On guard.
I can't. That scene is so cringy. Unfortunately, if this was Felagami, I would in fact be eating this up. I'm not even joking. If Felix had said that, I'd be giggling and kicking my feet right now. Like, it's still cringy, but it's cute because it's Felagami. I think I have a problem, actually.
Sorry. I forgot something back in the locker room.
See, that's how you know he didn't really like her, or he didn't want to kiss her, because if he did actually want to kiss her, he would have just quickly kissed her and then ran off. You could spare 2 seconds to just and then go. Truly, I feel so bad for her. She just wanted a kiss. Like, don't get me started.
I even missed your little angry pout.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, at this point, they had to have been dating, right? Why are you talking to her like that? Why are you treating her like that? That's insane.
Kagami!
You look so happy to be with him.
I gotta get going. My father's probably worried.
And then he just leaves her. This girl did not deserve anything that happened in this episode. And I literally just posted a TikTok about this. But what really bugs me about this episode is the fact that Adrien treated her like garbage, yet somehow Kagami was the only one who ever got hate about Adrien. Are you kidding me? That is insane. She didn't do anything wrong in this episode. She just wanted to be with him, and she was so happy to spend time with him, but he just kept leaving her and hurting her and lying so he could get away from her. Oh my god, her face right here absolutely kills me. On another note, in my head, this ice cream actually represents Felix. So, not important, but I just needed to point that out. Ugh. Once again, oh, this is so cringy, and I absolutely hate this scene, but if it was Felagami, I'd be eating it up.
Call you later.
hot soup. Let's go.
Girl, and honestly, the way that she kept going back to him, he kept hurting her over and over and over and over and over again. But she just like kept coming back, and she was still so happy to spend time with him. She was so blinded by love. Like, she was so consumed with the fact that she was finally dating the guy she liked that like girly was just ignoring the red flags left and right.
Play it again. Adrien, it's time.
Oh, that was aggressive. Adrian, live, laugh, love her.
I'm so happy when I'm with you. I have a feeling we're a lot alike.
Okay, first of all, I'm so happy when I'm with you. Aww. She's being so gentle and sweet. Bro, I love seeing that side of Kagami. And you know what? We haven't really seen that kind of energy from Kagami in terms of Feligami. We've seen Felix's like super soft, gentle side. We haven't really seen Kagami's super soft, gentle side when it comes to Felix. And I'm really hoping we see that in the next Feligami episode because it's so adorable. But also, no way she literally goes, I feel we're a lot alike. Felix literally says almost the exact same thing, bro. What does he say? We're so alike, but we're so different. I've never met someone like you. I'm pretty sure that's what he says, or something like that.
We have so much in common, and yet you're also so different. I've never met someone like you.
They're literally two peas in a pod.
Sorry, I thought I saw a wasp.
Do you love me too?
Excuse me?
The face he makes takes me out. No, because imagine being Kagami in this situation. You just told someone that you love them, and they go, excuse me? Nope, wrap it up. Kill me now, honestly. The secondhand embarrassment I feel, it's actually so bad. Oh, that part absolutely kills me. Because here's the thing, like, obviously Adrien was in love with Ladybug, but Kagami thought / knew that he was in love with Marinette. So like, this whole time he's been chasing Ladybug, but in her head, he's dating her, but he's also trying to chase Marinette. And I feel like the Lucky Charm proved that to her because he still kept it with him everywhere he went. This poor girl.
Truth is, I only ever have this much fun with you.
Now, why would you say that? Truly, I love him, but like, what? You literally have a girlfriend.
Except I lie, because I want to be with you. You lie, because you don't want to be with me.
Yup, girl, state your case, state your case, state your case. Also, this is like what I mainly wanted to talk about because a lot of people will be like, oh, Kagami doesn't like lying, like point blank period, which I just don't think is the case, right? I don't think it was the fact that he was lying that got her. It was the circumstances of his lies. In my opinion, Kagami wanted someone that would lie and deceive people just so they could be together, get away from anyone and everything just to be together. I like to use Desperata as one of the best examples because in that episode, they were supposed to go to some kind of class together, right? But they lied to go to the boat. And Kagami was the happiest I think I've ever seen her. She loved that. She loved not doing her duties, getting away from all of that stuff just so they could be together. I think she likes being mischievous. I think she likes doing that stuff. She likes not being truthful. You know, I feel like there's a bit of a like wild, reckless side to her. And I think that's what she likes in a relationship. That's what she would want. She'd want to just get away from anyone and everything, but not just to get away from everyone, but so they can just be together. Like, I think that's her biggest thing. But not only is that what she wanted, she also wanted the person that she was dating to do that stuff. Because in this episode, obviously, she kept lying so they could spend more time together. She lied at all of their fencing lessons so that way they would get there at the school earlier and they could spend an extra hour together. And I think she was doing all of those things because actually that's what she wanted him to do, but he wasn't doing it. So she just stepped up and decided to do it for them. But obviously, he never reciprocated any of that. He didn't see her lying and then decided to also lie so they could be together. And I think that is what made her mad. This is kind of random, you know, but it just made me think of Kagami. Everyone always says that, oh, Kagami is gonna be the best ship because Kagami hates lying and Luca also hates lying. But like, no, that's not the case. Kagami loves lying. She loves being deceptive and all of these things. I feel like she wants a relationship that's like that. That's not deceptive, but the things that they do is deceptive and they lie just so they could be together. That is what she wants. The only reason why she talks about not liking lying in this episode is because she didn't like the lies that he was coming up with, because the lies that he was coming up with was so that way he could be away from her. So I guess overall my point is that it's not the lying that she hated, it's just why he was lying, which of course brings me to Feligami. I think my favorite example of this is when Felix is like, how about we just ditch everything? How about we just ditch everything and let's just leave? Let's just leave the dance. Her eyes light up because he was suggesting they lie, deceive people, all of these things, manipulate the situation so that way they could leave and just just be free and be together. That is exactly what she wanted. And the fact that that's what she wanted from Adrien and Liz, and then all of a sudden in this episode, Adrien is finally doing that. That is why she liked him so much in Emotion. Like, I genuinely think that Emotion is when she liked him the most that she's ever liked him. Because once again, he was acting the way that she wanted. He was doing the things that she wanted. But little did she know the reason that she felt that way is because it was actually Felix. Felix would lie. Felix would manipulate situations just so they could spend time together. He literally suggests doing that in Emotion, and then he literally does that in Pretension. And that is the exact thing she wanted in a relationship. Literally, I'm not even joking. Every single thing that she wanted and she expected of Adrien was given to her on a silver platter by Felix. That is why I love Felix Kagami so much.
No more lies will be allowed in my new world, Shadow Moth.
Oh heck yes, girl. Low-key, I'm rooting for her. I genuinely want her to win.
You are a liar!
You are a liar! I love her so much.
Cat Noir, no! You're completely crazy!
Crazy about you, milady.
Oh my god. That's still one of my favorite Lady Noir moments.
No!
Ladybug.
Girl, don't piss me off. You know what, actually, I blame Plag for this because maybe he wouldn't have dated Kagami if Plag hadn't have told him to. Also, why would you ever believe Plag? You know, he's going off on this tangent like, try new cheese, try new cheese. Girl, you only ever eat camembert. I think we've just learned to never take advice from this man.
Ouch!
Okay, yes girl. Kagami's actually so real for that. And quite frankly, I don't think Mr. Dajancourt should have stopped her. Honestly, let her at him. Okay, let her at him. He deserves it. Oh my god, he deserves it. Because like, how are you gonna treat her like that?
You know, all those wonderful times we had together, they weren't lies.
Shut up. So they literally were, because anytime you were with her, you ended up leaving to go be with Ladybug. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
When I'm ready to see.
Wait, I know this is like kind of a serious moment, but this is one of my favorites. Like, tell me why this is literally Adrien's hand. Then it switches to Kagami's hand, and then Adrien grabs it. I don't know who messed that up, but like, I think that's my favorite animation error.
Sometimes we have to lie. But we always trust each other.
I guess the Lady Noir moment at the very end was kind of cute, but yeah, I just really cannot get over Adrien in this episode. Like, I think y'all know me, and y'all know that I'm not one to like hate on really like a lot of the characters unless they're ones that just piss me off, like Chloe, Gabriel, Kim. There's a few others, but you know what I mean. I like don't hate on Adrien or really anyone all that often, but like this episode just really gets me. And I think it's mainly just because of the fans' reaction to this. Like, Kagami genuinely got all of the hate for Kagami. After Lies came out, the hate Kagami got was insane, when it's like Adrien was literally the one that was being a douchebag to her. Like, I physically can't understand that. Anyway, all that's left to say is, Kagami, I'm sorry that happened to you, but don't you worry, Mookie. Your man is coming for you soon.